Oh, it's my guy. It's the P Drizzy show.
It's the pdog show.
The P
coming
Dog
at you
show. Live and direct. It done said.
Podcast.
Yo, it's a pleasure, man. Give thanks to everybody being here, checking it out. You know what I'm saying? Yo, it's my brethren. It's P Dog, the legend,
In the house.
in the house. From
Do some
from
interviews.
from the east to the
Get it
west,
in.
from the west to the east. You see?
This is my debut,
Yeah, man.
so we're gonna see what it does.
Yeah, let's see what it
Yeah.
do.
So tell me a little bit about what you do.
Yo, okay. Location, sound mixer, sound utility, work in the industry, in the entertainment industry in Atlanta, Georgia, the new Black Hollywood. You know, we here, and yeah, we do have qualified technicians. We here, so
Now.
yes, now with people like P Dog, you know, coming through. But yeah, we here now, and so we're just doing the sound. We're doing sounds in all different categories. We're going from the field recording, which you know, just wild out there. You know, we could be by train tracks, we could be by the ocean, we could be, you know, in a building, we could be anywhere. So dealing with sounds from that aspect, and then you know we're doing the sound rental, the equipment rental, you know, playback sounds.
That's very important. That's
Yeah,
very
so
important.
we have equipment, speakers and DJ controllers, Pioneer. We got Techniques 1200s.
Okay.
You know,
old school.
Yeah, we got it all. So with that, we do rentals for practical and for all you set deck people out there, all you decorators. We got you covered. So yeah, we doing it. We're doing it like that from that aspect, and we got my boy SP and Naka. Shout outs to those guys doing it big with the weddings and all the parties in town. So that's the in-house DJs, and then we do the podcast, controlled environment, spitting our own propaganda. You know, we here. So
That's beautiful. Now
Yeah.
tell me something, because in the industry, you know, when you work, you do a show, it's all temporary, but then you start seeing the same people on
Right.
shows. And
yeah,
it's like a family.
exactly.
And then once that show ends, the family leaves. You don't never see them
Yes.
until the next show.
Mm.
Now tell me how long you've been in the business of sound.
Sound, you know, that's a funny question. I'm gonna try to wrap this up short because I get it a lot, but like, I'm from Montego Bay, Jamaica, and so it's like I feel like it's in the roots and the blood from Bob Marley, from the sound system, Kilimanjaro, and that aspect, you know, from high school in shop class. I didn't make a desk. I made speaker boxes. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it was always in the blood, and then you know, just started DJing and doing the sound system thing, and then here we are now. Like what? Went to the Art Institute after we graduated. Yeah, that didn't work out too tough, but we went to Full Sail, did that, wrapped that up, and then we came back to Atlanta's. You know what I'm saying? And we've been in it eight, 9 years now? Yeah, in the union. Yeah, so when I came back to Atlanta, I jumped on, dude, I got a degree. I was pressure washing Atlantic Station.
Wow.
Yeah. So one of my homies, he hit me to Wizard Electronics.
Mm-hmm.
So I was working there, you know, doing installs for different companies, different restaurants. And then my brother, Ekin Dyer, the Mountain Lion, brought me on a production, doing being locations. And every time he called me on the radio, he's like, dude, you're not answering. What's up? And I'm over here like not even understanding the importance. Like, yo,
Oh, yeah.
because I was caught up. Shout outs to Shirley Libby, Freddie Chancellor. I was by their cart, and I'm like, I'm familiar with sound as far as like, okay, I'm seeing a mixer, but what's his antennas, and there's these tiny mics they putting on people's bodies, and you know, so
Right.
that's how I came into the game. They giving me a chance, and my brother giving me a chance to be on set. She picked me up, gave me my first chance doing sound, and been running from then.
Now, what was the most memorable show you've worked on? It's a lot of them. I know it's hard to pick.
It's a lot, but you know, really and truly, it's like, all right, let me see. I mean, for me personally, up to date, it's man, that's a tough one because I love doing my own independent stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Dad Rehab.
Yeah.
That was a Roger Bob, Angie Bones production.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? And the reason why I said that too, because the casting was great. Everything, location was awesome. The thing was, I was able to mix that.
Right,
you know, I was able to bring my team on and my boom op and you know, put my card on the road, and you know, so that was a very big thing for me, and it made it to TV One. So I got it. I think that was one of my biggest things.
Okay.
Yeah.
Me personally, I've been working on pretty much black shows all my life. You know what I'm saying? So I would have to say the most memorable show is the show BET The Game.
Right.
Because we used to get it in on that.
I already know.
And I was from LA, and they would fly me out here. You know, it was a whole rent-a-car apartment.
I already know. You're a legend. Come on, man. P. Drizzy's a legend in the building.
I wrote that for 3 years, and the month that it wrapped, I moved out of it.
That's crazy. But yo, P, check it out.
Yeah.
Yo, we got somebody crazy in the building.
That's what's
Yo,
up.
on the real, for real, like, I'm excited about this dude because, you know, I checked this dude from early. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know, check this dude from early, like, coming in the game and, like, his craft, building his craft, shaping it. And, we got my man Tyler in the building.
That's
you know
what's
what I'm
up.
saying?
That's what's up.
AKA Benny, have and have nots. You know what I'm saying?
Have-nots.
Yo, my G is in here. So we're
Let's
gonna
bring him on in.
It's the pdog show, and like I said, guys, we have a special guest, and my brethren, pdog, touch it up.
Thank you for joining us for the first premiere of pdog TV. I'm pdog, you dig? We got a special guest for you today. We got one of the top guys on the set that's really getting it in. Show your love and respect for the OG Benny on Have-Nots. Mr. Tyler, how you doing today?
Hey man, I appreciate that.
Oh man,
Thanks for the
you know,
introduction. It's
you
good to meet you, brother.
gotta get that love, man.
Sure,
you know, it ain't many of us out there shining, but you know, you definitely out there shining. Tell me something. How'd you get your start in this biz?
Well, my start was a little unorthodox.
Okay.
You know, I grew up playing football.
Okay.
Sports.
That's
Got
what's up.
scholarships to play ball, but I didn't make it to the NFL.
Okay.
I moved out to LA because I had some family that lived out there. My cousins were actually out there already.
What part of LA was you in?
I'm gonna start in Santa Monica actually.
Okay.
It was more like Brentwood.
Brentwood, okay.
Same area though.
Yeah.
And I started out personal training. You know, the thing about LA, it's really saturated with everybody in the business.
Oh yeah.
So actors, you know, your models, but people behind the camera in the production too.
Oh,
so
even doctors and all them dudes, they get it in. You know, everybody gets it in.
Everybody gets it in, or at least trying to do it over there.
Well, not everybody did, but most people out there who got paper and want to, you know, look good, they got a trainer that's out there getting it in for them, showing them the haves and the have-nots in that business. You did?
See that plug? See what we did?
Did I do that? You
Appreciate
did?
that.
Oh, no problem.
So I was personal training, and I was actually I was in the gym. Someone came up, so they were having a hard time, you know, casting this one role in a smaller film they were doing. Yada yada. Gave me the audition. I ended up booking it. So that was the start of it.
Okay.
Kind of
What year was that?
This is like, what are we in 17 right now? So this is probably like 2011.
Okay. All right. So
Yeah,
you've been in the business
2011.
real
Yeah,
good.
2010.
Got a nice taste of the biz.
Yeah, been in it for a little bit, you know, working at it.
Now, did you do a lot of shows out there in LA, or basically most of them out here?
The first projects that I was booking, most of them were in LA.
Okay.
this show was what brought me down to Atlanta. But you know, as you know, they're filming a lot in Atlanta.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
they're getting it in. So I came out here, started coming out here in 2010, and I did some pilots out there in Sylmar for, I think it was TV1. It was called One Love. I think Sherman Hemsley's was on there, and the mom from Moesha, Shirley Ralph, and there was a bunch of, and Cooper, hanging with Cooper, I don't remember.
Oh, Mr. Cooper, yeah.
Yeah,
so
he
you
was
have
in
experience
it.
with that.
Yeah, and then we did a pilot, and they liked it. They said, okay, we going to Georgia. Whoever want to roll.
Yeah.
And that's how I got my start out here. But you know, I've been in the business really for like 22 years. You know what I'm saying?
How long have you been, you know, doing this podcast?
This the first day.
This is the first day.
Yeah, you are the premier guest. So when we make it big,
Oh, so this is pretty big. This is pretty big.
this is major. It's gonna make it or break it.
Alright.
You dig? So,
Yeah.
I mean, it's all love, and we trying to show everybody that we can get it in.
Oh, yeah.
Because they under the misconception, I should say, that they need to be our teacher. You know what I'm saying? At least in the field, I'm the rigging key over there at Have and Have Nots. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, word.
Fuck with the balloon and all of that. I'm behind the scenes, so
And
you'll
what-
never see me.
And this is a little random, but what is that balloon for? Is that blocking the sun?
Yes,
Okay.
exactly.
That's what
And
I thought.
they can use it as a bounce.
Okay.
They can shoot a light.
Like bounce like the. Okay.
Yeah, but mainly instead of using those fly swatters or condors, we use the cloud.
Because that's one of the biggest things that I learned about, you know, shooting this much of a volume of work. Like I'm always around, you know, the grips and sound,
Right,
you know,
right.
and I'm really learning like, you know, just what all these random pieces are for.
Exactly.
This random big ass balloon that's in there.
Yeah, and if
You
there's
just saw
anybody
something.
out there, you know, we need more grips electric behind the scenes as well as in front of the camera. So the local out here is 479, and that takes care of the grips, electric, sound, wardrobe, and probably a couple other ones, craft service that I didn't mention, you know. So, you know, get out here, and now that you know, you watch this pod, we actors and we key grips and you gang bosses around here, you dig? So, you know, it's all a part of everybody coming together and getting this paper, because this is the new Hollywood. You know what I'm saying? So, as far as your sports, where did you go to school to get your...
So I went to Kutztown University. I played football there. It's like
stand up.
Yeah, Kutztown
Yeah,
stand up.
yeah,
This
yeah.
is like this is like 2 hours west of Philly.
Okay.
Maybe two and a half hours west of Philly, and played ball there. Our claim to fame, at least on the football side of things, was Andre Reed.
Okay.
He came from Kutztown.
That's what's up.
Now in the Hall of Fame. Right?
Yeah, getting it in.
So yeah, you know, we do our thing over Kutztown, but that's
Okay.
where I went to school. Yeah.
Okay, so how do you like working in Atlanta?
Oh, well, the food is sticking. Gained a couple pounds while I'm down here.
That's what's up.
But it's dope. You know, we shoot. Like I said, we shoot. Obviously, you know how it is over there.
Yeah.
So we work hard.
Right.
You know, we get a chance to play hard.
Right.
And it's everything that you know, it's everything that you would hope for or wish, or at least everything that like I wish for.
Right.
So it's like you can't you can't complain about the responsibility when the blessing does come. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
So it's like, yeah, it's hard work, but it's good. That's how I like it.
Oh yeah, definitely. Because basically, in the field, 90% of the actors are never working. It's only 10% of SAG that's ever working. So that tells you how many actors and actresses it is out there. You know what I'm saying? So you the cream of the crop when it comes to who's working and who's not, because there's so many of them that's not working.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
And you know what? It is a tough industry and tough business to have success in, but it's like, I wish people would just keep an open mind, because you're not always going to get the best job, and I get that. I don't know where that statistic or that number came from, but it's like I would agree that most people aren't working.
Right.
But there's lots of work out there.
It is.
You might
You're
not be in a
absolutely
blockbuster film right away.
Right.
But it's like you could be you mess around, be practicing for your friends. That's still,
Exactly.
you know, what is acting at the end of the day? You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
exactly.
Just you could still be doing it and not have success in it.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like a lot of times that's how things get started. That's kind of how I got started. I
Right.
didn't start on the have and have nots.
Right. Well, it's not as easy as everybody puts it out there to be an actor, because you got to know the script. You got to know where on the set you're supposed to be at the script. And you got to be able to go to line 22, just off your mind in the script. So that's with a camera looking at you and 50 grips electric sound.
I mean, that's like the the game we're playing. You have an intimate moment with someone that's supposed to be alone, but in reality,
Yeah.
you got 50 people in the room.
Yeah, exactly.
So it could be difficult.
Yeah, yeah.
But that's the name of the game.
Right, that's the name of the game. So, besides being a physical trainer, personal trainer, what other jobs have you had?
Other jobs have I had in my life?
Yeah. Because we need to
yeah.
let them see that everybody doesn't come from big money. Some people had to work at McDonald's.
Well, yeah,
Some
definitely.
people had a paper route. You know what I'm saying? Some people had to sling dope. You know, it just depends on what it took for you to make that cash. You know what I'm saying? And I personally, when I was growing up, before I even knew what I was going to be, I was already that because my father owned a construction company. So, and we lived over there off Crenshaw in Washington back then.
Yeah, so you had an opportunity.
Yeah, we was grinding, you know. And from that, I just took that. I never had a McDonald's job because I could always rely on somebody who I'd done work for to either introduce me to somebody or just, I always had a little work, you know what I'm saying? Even at a young age, when I think I started driving a van when I was 12. One of his workers let me drive. He was drunk. He let me drive down Figueroa and 90th. I almost sideswiped this car. I could tell I almost sideswiped because he went like this. And I looked at him, he was like, oh. I was like, did I almost hit that car? He's like, yeah. Okay, stay over.
Yeah, well, I mean, the thing about that is, you just got to get your start somewhere. So,
Yeah,
I mean,
exactly.
I've made sandwiches. I worked in a sandwich shop. I pumped gas before. Worked at a day camp. Did some things we ain't going to talk about. But, yeah, I mean, the thing about it is, in my idea of like what success is, it definitely doesn't come like initially, and sometimes it can come like almost in a masked way, if you will.
Yeah, I've been reading this little stuff on Google, and it was talking about the subconscious. You got to train your subconscious to believe, because your conscious will believe anything, but your subconscious is only going to believe repetition. You dig? So if you keep telling yourself you the shit, you're gonna be the shit, no matter what you do.
Well, I definitely agree with the repetition. I mean, anything that you're doing, you gotta do it over and over again. You know what I mean? Pass through your nervous system over and over again, and then it can be like a habit. You can learn a habit.
Right,
you know what I mean?
right. That's what's up, yo. Well, when I was growing up, I always had my father, my brothers. I had 6 brothers. Some of them, they were half, so they really didn't like us that much until they got to know us. But it's all about family and everybody looking out for you. Who in your family looked out for you to get you where you are today?
Well, it would really be like, obviously, my mom and dad. I'm an only child.
Okay.
So I'm really close with my parents.
Oh, that's what's
so
up.
they're the first ones.
Okay.
But like, for me, because I didn't have that, that like close blood family, like I didn't have brothers or sisters. Like the people that looked out for me really in the most ways are like those in my extended family.
Right.
You know what I mean? The cousins that I talked about earlier. Some of the uncles that I have. Even like, I had lived with my aunt and my uncle for like a random year.
Right,
you know what I mean?
right.
But like, they took me in as their own. Took care of me like that.
That's
So it's like, really, I don't have a big family, but as we're sitting and reflecting on it, I do have I do have lots of family members that did help me out.
Okay, we're back. Thank you for joining us for another episode of pdog TV.
pdog show. P Drizzy.
pdog show. The P Dizzle Shizzle for Shizzle my Nizzle.
Raiders.
You dig? Now, we got a chance to talk in depth with Mr. Lepley. Now let's talk a little further. You dig? Because I went to public school, but I went to some of the best schools that side of the Mason-Dixon line. You dig? And in high school, what did you superstar in? Football and tennis?
Well, I played,
I played a
played
couple
ball.
shits out there. Whatever season it was, I was trying to be in some of it because back when I was going to school, they had intramural points. You get points for every day you go to after school. You know what I'm saying?
Like almost like social sports.
Right. And then what they would do at the end of the year, they would give everybody trophies for being the most. I got 3rd place, I think, on the being, because I was in tennis, basketball, football, track. They had me
Jack of
pole
all
vaulting.
trades.
They had me pole vaulting with a javelin stick back in the day. You dig? You know, but
Nah.
what kind of other sports did you partake besides football?
So I mean, initially I played basketball
Okay.
in ninth grade,
Okay.
and I also ran track in ninth grade.
All right.
But when I started getting older, and I started getting more serious in terms of scouts and whatnot, trying to take it to the next level in terms of the NCAA.
Right.
I stopped playing those other sports.
Right.
I just focused on football.
Right. Football.
Before I got a scholarship. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Right.
You know, because it's really like, you know, when you see these cats on TV, you know, running for 90-yard touchdowns in front of the whole world on ESPN. You know, you forget that these are just kids, right? You know,
Yeah,
these
they're
kids.
Yeah.
So
They're doing what
you
they
know,
love.
yeah, exactly. You know, and I was a kid trying to get to that level.
Right. Right.
Didn't make it there, but you know, that was my aiming point.
Well, that route you took, it put you in the lining for other stuff in your life, though. You know.
Well, yeah, for sure. I wouldn't change. You know, I wouldn't change my past.
You know, you're shining right now. You know.
Well,
Just-
I'm grinding. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's always a grind out here
Yeah.
too. Don't think
Always working.
you can survive and not grind, man. 90% of your time better be grind.
Because that's really all. You know, the way I see it.
Yeah.
In my opinion.
Yeah.
You know, like that's all we really have. You know, I'm really not even entitled to like, you know, what comes from my grinding. Even though I know if I do it the right way, it's gonna be positive things.
Exactly.
That's like, you know,
Now-
that's like the spoils of war.
Is there any kind of type of show that you want to do, a feature or something specific? Are you writing anything?
Yeah, I got a lot. I got a lot of stuff cooking up. For me, it's just about, you know, I like a one. I prefer things one shot, one kill. So it's like with that, you know, it may be a little bit quirky because I could be waiting too long or whatever. I want to do it like super right. I'm kind of like really meticulous with it.
Right.
But it's like, yeah, I have, you know, literally everything in the works already. It's just about doing it at the right time.
Right.
Because I don't want to come and like, you know, lay out a whole smorgasbord of everything I'm doing all at once. You know what I mean?
Right.
People see too many choices, they don't really know what to do.
Right.
So I want to give it to them, you know, precisely.
Okay. Well, you're from Philly. What is, if you had to compare,
Philly.
huh?
Buck Philly.
Buck.
Stand up.
You dig? For sure. You know, I used to watch that show, Parking Wars. They some cold motherfuckers out there in Philly with their parking wars. Man, I couldn't believe how they would just take your car.
They ain't playing about fucking.
Oh my God. And then the line to get your car, that was the show. You know what I'm saying? Because everybody pissed. You know what I'm saying? That actually worked out to be a good show. But Philly has brought out a whole lot of talent. You know what I'm saying? They represent it to the fullest. You know what I'm saying?
Tyler.
I ain't never been to Philly, but it's like I've been there. You know, at least downtown where that thing is standing up in the middle of the.
Stand up.
Yeah, you
Stand
dig?
up, stand up.
Like,
We got
arm
cousin
up,
in the building
you know?
too.
Yeah.
Yeah, shout out to my cousin over there. Leroy.
Yeah.
Leroy in the building.
What's up,
Yeah.
Now, as far as when you're out there in the public eye,
Yeah.
what do you want seen in your mind? Because a lot of people don't realize what they look like out there until they see it. What do you want to be seen as out there?
I mean, I honestly prefer not to be seen.
Right.
But it's like
If you
you're
had to
talking-
be seen,
yeah.
how would
If
you want it?
If you're talking about like what people take away from me,
Because they're not gonna never. The positive is never gonna shine.
yeah, for sure.
You know what I'm saying? That's not what they're there for. You know.
I mean, really, that I'm just, you know, it's what you see is what you get. It's almost like looking into a mirror. I mean, I am what life is. You know, you respect me, you're gonna get respect back. You disrespect me, I'm gonna deal with it.
What's up?
You know, I work hard.
Right.
You should work hard.
Right. Now, as far as your physical, before and after, hopefully I can get like that in 6 to 8 months.
You work hard.
6
You
to 8
yeah.
years. I don't think it's that much.
I mean, you got it. You solid.
Yeah. I just got a whole lot of things to lose.
Yo,
That's really more about nutrition.
Right.
Gotta always
But
make sure you're eating right.
Right. Who is some of the people that you dealt with in as far as your physical workout training? Do you have a person
Like-
that trains you?
Oh, do I have a person that trains me?
Yeah.
I mean, not really.
Okay.
Like I normally work out alone, but I do get like the best workouts when I am with someone, or someone is taking me through a workout.
Oh, yeah.
Like, you know, those are the best workouts.
Yeah.
You can collaborate for it.
Right. You can. Yes.
I got a question, my G.
Yes.
So he's saying he working out too, right?
Yeah.
Well, hold on. We ain't taking questions from the audience. Right?
Okay.
Yeah, it's all good. It's Tyler in the building first, so you already know. But but like because he say he's on the grind all the time.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like I know you do have-nots and you're on other stuff like. So what are you doing when you're not, you know what I'm saying, grinding on that? Like what other things that you got going on? What other shows? Because I know I've seen you in a couple other joints just recently.
Yeah, just recently I worked on this movie Ringside. That was my first leading role. That was pretty cool. That was for TV One actually. You said you had some work with them earlier, right?
Yeah.
Okay, thanks. So we like teammates, kind of. I mean, we worked. You know, it's actually our second time working together. The first time was with TV One, right?
No, this is the third time.
Oh yeah, no, have not still, yeah.
Yeah, that was the second time.
Yeah.
And some other shit we probably don't even know.
Yeah, you're probably right.
'Cause I stay behind the scenes. I'm like the fat ninja on the set, I guess.
Oh man, that's the legend. That's the legend, pdog. You already know.
Raiders for life. You know,
Yeah,
what it is. You know. Yeah, so, but
worked on a couple other things though. You know that movie. I had shot a Lexus commercial recently. Oh, that was like last year.
Lexi, my G.
Lexi, yeah, you know what I'm saying.
They gave you a
and that
Lex.
was pretty cool because like that was you know, with all these different mediums, like you're doing the same thing. At the end of the day, I'm going in, I'm acting, I'm promoting, right? That's what I'm doing. I'm acting.
Yeah.
But it's like, you know, movie is different than a commercial.
Oh, definitely.
It's different than an episodic, which is have nots. Different than a comedy. These are all like, you know, it's you know, different than stage.
Yeah.
So it's good.
So many
you know,
different facets of the industry. But the commercial is the Rolls Royce job. Just so you know.
Just so you know.
The Rolls Royce job of the industry. If you're gonna work on any part of making video, sound, you want to be on a commercial because they pay like they weigh. You dig?
Yo, Ben, did they give you a Lexus too? Did they give you a Lexus?
Ride it once.
Well, you know I can't talk about that on camera.
That's an OT.
That's
I got you. Yo, Ben, real quick too. Like, I want to ask another question real quick, Pete. Like, yo, like on the regiment too, like you say, like when you're not down, but you working on other projects. But like me personally, you know what I'm saying, being your utility, you know what I'm saying, on a couple shows, like I've seen the progress. So like what other training, like I know you do your physical training, but like what other training are you doing, you know, for these actors that's coming up? Like what, because I've seen it, I've seen the transition, you know what I mean? So
well, first of all, I appreciate that. Thanks for noticing that and speaking on that. Thank you. But like for me, yeah, you know, you have to be doing a few things. First of all, you have to make sure that you're training your body, like you said, right? You know, I've been in scenes whether, you know, I'm doing something with controlling my breath and I'm not getting a lot of air, or I'm screaming a lot, I'm giving a lot of air. You could literally be like almost pass out.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? You're screaming and stuff. So if you're not in the right shape, you literally can't do some of your job.
Oh yeah.
Right? So you got to train your body, obviously.
right.
You got to train your voice. Right? I work on my voice. Right?
That's one of the things I was telling you earlier.
Yeah.
Projecting.
Right.
It's a side note.
You gotta know how to use your voice.
Yeah.
Obviously, you got to work on your feelings. However you do that, you might read something, you might talk to somebody. Right? You got to work, you know, on that system I was talking about earlier.
Right,
the nervous system, right? You got a repetition for everything.
Right. See, that's
reading,
something that
watching
you
the
wouldn't
greats and
really
stuff, you know?
think unless somebody tells you. He just gave you free game. You
And
know where I'm from, game is to be sold and not told. So anybody feel like they need to, you know, buy some of that game, go and donate it to your local.
And the biggest thing, if we're going to talk about giving game, the biggest thing, I know it's obvious, motherfuckers got to know y'all lines.
Yeah.
The biggest thing, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You can't, it's like you can't. You want to go on and do all this stuff. It's like it's fun to be able to like ad lib and do all this stuff,
right.
but you have to be able to
the
know.
line at first.
You got to know what the track is, so you step off, you get back on. Like people want to come to the table and like I want to do this, and I'm feeling this way. That's
bullshit.
And you doing
that's
doing
why
like
you better know
what
what
a
you're
real
talking
actor
about.
would do, in my mind, correct me if I'm wrong, what a real actor would do is when he got that script, he would know the whole script back and forth. And just tell the people something positive so everybody will go out of here saying the #1 show.
Tell people something positive.
Yeah,
I think we talked about a lot of positive things.
yeah, we definitely did.
Yeah, we definitely did.
Like me, something positive is instead of saying something negative about somebody, have something to say. Because I notice when you're communicating with folks, they want to talk about negativity, but just always be positive. And if you ain't got nothing positive to say, really don't have nothing to say about a person because it'll get back to them 10 times, 20 times, something worse. I mean, and that's just common courtesy and respect for one another. We got to start going our way to look out instead of shake 'em. You dig?
So it can be a benefit in minding your own business. It's very positive.
Exactly. All right, I want to thank you again for
Appreciate it,
showing
brother.
up,
Thank you.
man.
Good to see you.
You know, and I want to thank everybody for joining, and everybody's here, the cast, the crew. You know, we all need one another, and let's keep it positive. And thank you again for joining us for the pdog show, and we're out.
Yes, sir.
You dig?